Hi, I'm Colonel David Miller in the United States Air Force, and I'm the base commander at Kirtland Air Force Base right here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And today I want to talk to you about flying and being a pilot. We're going to read a book, I Want to Be a Pilot, that talks about real facts, true information about flying. Do you think a girl could be a pilot? Let's read this book and find out. The title, I Want to Be a Pilot, written by Laura Driscoll and pictures by Catalina Attarelli. Bump! Our plane touches down on the runway. We are here, I say to Aunt Ro. I love airports. I love airplanes. I love everything about flying. But today, the best part is where we are going. We are going to the airfair, I tell the flight attendant. It is a huge festival all about air travel. An airfair. Now that must be a lot like the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta, with all the balloons in the sky, or when the Air Force brings their demonstration jets into town to show us what they can do in the air. So an airfair, that must be like an air festival, where you can see lots of different things, all types of different aircraft, all types of uses for those aircraft. Let's read a little bit more and see what she learns about those aircraft. I want to be a pilot, I say. Just like Aunt Ro, she flies an Air Force jet. The flight attendant asks, do you want to meet our pilot? Everyone else gets off the plane. We go up to the front. The pilot shows us the cockpit. There are so many buttons and switches. You know what all of them do, I ask. That is my job, the pilot says. I do more than just steer. Before the flight, I check the weather, the pilot says. I plot the flight path. I do safety checks on the whole airplane. And I make sure I have some of these. The pilot gives me a pin, my own set of wings. Soon we arrive at the airfair. There are planes as far as I can see. We see a huge cargo plane. We meet the cargo pilot. My plane transports things instead of passengers, the pilot says. Most of our flights are at night, the pilot tells us. It is just me, my co-pilot, and a plane full of stuff. I sit inside a tiny seaplane. The pilot is from an island. I fly people to the mainland, he says. I'm like a cab driver in the sky. Aunt Ro wants to see the military planes and meet other military pilots. One pilot flies a transport plane. It can carry tanks, trucks, even helicopters, he says. Then we meet a Navy jet pilot. She can land her plane on the deck of a ship. And we meet a test pilot. He test drives new airplanes to see how fast they can go. We see many helicopters. One is an air ambulance. It takes patients to the hospital fast. Air ambulance pilots need to stay calm in emergencies, the pilot says. We take a hot air balloon ride. To steer, the pilot rides the wind. He has to know which way it is blowing. I look down over the fair. I have met so many kinds of pilots. Aunt Ro takes me to meet one more pilot. I'm a flight instructor, she says. I teach pilots how to fly. Aunt Ro smiles at me. Are you ready for your lesson? Aunt Ro asks. I can't believe it. I'm taking a flying lesson. Will I like it? I guess I'll find out right now. What a great story. A great story about a little girl who wants to grow up to be a pilot. She gets a chance to go to this airfair and to experience all different types of aircraft and meet all different types of pilots. You could fly an aircraft. You could be a pilot. So what we saw here was a little girl who got her chance at the end of the book to actually get a flight in an airplane. So I guess girls could be pilots and boys could be pilots. This is an exciting book. There are other books about flying you should check out. Or if you get a chance to go in Albuquerque to the Nuclear Museum and see the aircraft they have on display outside, Or if you get a chance to go to the Balloon Museum, these are great opportunities to learn more about flying and about being a pilot.